love poems for winter, or this is where we are. We need those who are watching, as well as us. We guarantee, actually, we guarantee or your money back for the show.
This is a little far, Michael.
No, that these love poems will bring love into our lives, yes? But you have to stay tuned. The guarantee doesn't work. The guarantee does not work if someone leaves, right? Like if one of us leaves for this, it's not right. We have to stay for 57 minutes. Love poems for winter. I think I'm going to begin because that's how we planned it, yes? Mm-hmm. This is a poem that I told my dear niece Rebecca when she was 21, and at 22 she came to me and said, "Uncle Michael, that poem was true." And the poem begins, this is by A.E. Housman. It sounds like it's in the past, but I think I'm still 21, right? So you don't know. Yes, thank you.
Somewhere you are.
Yes, somewhere I am. Hopefully that's fine. When I was 1 and 20, I heard a wise man say, "Give pounds and crowns and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls and diamonds and rubies, but keep your fancy free." But I was 1 and 20. No use to talk to me. When I was 1 and 20, I heard him say again, "The heart out of the bosom is always given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs aplenty. 'Tis sold with endless rue." Now I am 2 and 20, and oh, 'tis true. 'Tis true. And she came to me and said, "Uncle Michael, that love poem was true."
She passed through the fire.
Yes, but she has met someone, and they're going to get married in San Francisco.
Very nice.
Because the poem helped. Got rid of that bad guy at 22. That was not the right guy. And she's getting married. She's having a 2-day wedding.
Why 2 days?
She just wants everyone to get to know one another, both families.
Oh, that's lovely.
Isn't that lovely? Yes, it's 2 days in San Francisco. You were all invited. I'll let her know. Sarah, if you'd like. I do not like my state of mind. This is for people in the winter, too. This is to speak to many of us, yes?
And it's also goes along with what you're talking about. We can be so burned in love and so disappointed, but we keep trying it again. This is by Dorothy Parker. It's called Symptom Recital. I do not like my state of mind. I'm bitter, querulous, unkind. I hate my legs. I hate my hands. I do not yearn for lovelier lands. I dread the dawn's recurrent light. I hate to go to bed at night. I snoot at simple, earnest folk. I cannot take the gentlest joke. I find no peace in paint or type. My world is but a lot of tripe. I'm disillusioned, empty-breasted. For what I think, I'd be arrested. I am not sick, I am not well. My quondam dreams are shot to hell. My soul is crushed, my spirit sore. I do not like me anymore. I cavil, quarrel, grumble, grouse. I ponder on the narrow house. I shudder at the thought of men. I'm due to fall in love again.
Wow. Wow. So there's hope for everyone.
Well, then love comes find you, I think. I mean, that's when you're really desperate and sort of given all up and nasty and feeling wretched about yourself. Love comes and finds you.
Yes.
Don't like yourself, yes. Yes, don't like your legs.
Like me
Yes, don't like
anymore.
me
I know,
anymore,
it's a terrible
right?
line about, don't
So
want to go to bed.
so there's hope, yes? If you're not liking yourself, right?
Right, then you just can,
Then that's-
like
that's-
as long
that's
as you open up and say, hey, you know,
I
you get to
need
the end of your
something.
you get to the end of your line kind of, you know,
And then
It's time for Cupid then, Richard, right?
I do not like, I like that, I do not like
Not
me
like me
anymore.
anymore.
Yes, oh, and then you're ready for love, yes. Kind of just get rid of it. Well, we have a similar poem. This is carefully calibrated, these poems, too. This is, yes, these,
right.
similar, yes, this is by a very promising writer.
William Shakespeare, yes, I think he may amount to something. And this has always been a favorite of mine. I learned this a long time ago. It's a similar theme, you know, where you start hating yourself, and but in this one you have a love that saves you. Yeah. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's scope and that man's art, with what I most
What I most enjoy.
what I most enjoy, content at least. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee. And then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.
Wow. Oh, my.
Well, that is love.
Oh,
It's
wow.
best transforming.
Good to love someone that way. Yes. Wow.
To be loved.
And even when you love that way, because he loves her, he still can get, in, you know,
Yeah, you can
in like Sarah's poem, he can still, even with a love like that, you forget. Yes. Oh, so this hope. So. Oh, it's not right. So even if we have an extraordinary love that he does, that can make you, even then you can forget and feel horrible.
Sure, that's life.
Oh, good.
You
Oh,
know,
that's
you're
good.
not totally in love all the time.
Yes, no, so
Exactly.
even with the
Right.
most beautiful love that brings you to heaven's gate, you can feel depressed. That's somehow, that's very comforting. Thank you, Richard. You don't have to, right, so that, right. So even when we have our one true love, yes, you can be angry if they don't clean the towels. Really angry, yes. And that still doesn't mean that you're not singing for them.
But then you remember their sweet love, and you think, oh, they're just towels. They're just towels.
And then you look at the towels the next day. Yes.
And you get angry.
And you get angry again. Oh. There's great wisdom in these poets. And this you can use this. This is Wendy Cope's. You can use this in one more month for Valentine's Day. This is a great Valentine's poem.
Right, this is a pretty simple Valentine's poem, and for me, it captures the heart of youth. You know, when you're really in love, and this is the first love you know is sort of captured in Valentine's, and it's very simple. It's very direct, like young love is. So if we're going through the cycle here, this is Valentine by Wendy Cope. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you. Whatever you've got lined up, my heart has made its mind up. And if you can't be signed up this year, next year will do. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you. So Wendy has a very simple view of love. And I think like most people who are really young do. It's sort of, that's direct. You see it, that's the hit that you get. You know, and it takes me back to kind of those little Valentines in red boxes in school, and just going, okay, it's you. It's like on the playground. All right, I see you.
But not when
You
we're
know?
older. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm
sure.
afraid it's you. You've done
Yeah,
that, yes? It's
sure.
you.
All done that.
That's just the way it is. That's
Right.
it. Sorry.
The older you kind of,
Yeah.
you know, you dress it with lots of other things.
But it's really, that's
still
about
there.
the size of it. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you.
And I'm afraid it's you. That's right.
Afraid herself or afraid for him? Or doesn't that?
Well, probably for both.
Just the way, yes, oh, so that's good, so we can be afraid, right? But it's just, I'm afraid, and it's too bad. It's you.
That's too
the
bad.
way it
That's
goes.
it.
Too bad
Yeah.
for both of us, that's it.
Yeah.
My heart has made its mind up.
Did you think that's like Cupid, the idea of Cupid and
It's-
the arrow? I mean, it's like, it's
yeah.
so direct.
It's direct. It's
I mean, that's
there's
why
no
Cupid
choice.
is just such a great image for, you know, a little love deity there, you know. He just does. There's the arrow in your shot.
But this
know?
time she's doing it though. She's a feminist, right? She's made her mind up. It's not someone else. My heart has made its mind up, and I'm afraid it's you, and that's it, fella. And if you don't decide this year, it's going to happen next year, right?
Yeah, it's kind of
She gives
fait
him a year.
accompli.
It's very nice. She gives him a year. Right, how's it go? My heart has made its.
And if you can't be signed up this year, next year we'll do
Sign
it.
him up. Okay.
Right.
Sign.
All right, on the line.
Yes, Mike Coran, sign up to love you, right? Because you have to sign him up. You're signed up.
Well, it's sort of sane or not, though, don't you think? I mean, it's sort of, sometimes it works, sometimes it's totally, you know, totally the wrong person.
And they
but
won't
still,
sign, huh?
and
But
they
she
don't
doesn't think
sign,
that.
yeah.
She doesn't think that. She thinks
well,
it's really.
her heart has made its
Yeah,
mind
yes,
up.
my heart is made. And hearts have a mind? Do hearts have a mind?
Oh, yeah. I think that's the difference between a heart and a mind.
That a heart has
I
one.
just, well,
Well, minds don't know anything.
no, a heart's just going for it,
It's
you
just
know.
very simple.
It's
a heart,
not,
yes.
you
None of
can't,
this
not
thinking,
rational.
not like we're talking now, right? A heart is like a poem. The mind is like this conversation that I've initiated. Yes. Well, that's wonderful. Okay. Oh, this is me now. Whew. Another one from A.E. Housman. This is unfortunately maybe true. When I was in love with you, then I was sweet and brave. And miles around the wonder grew how well I did behave. But now the fancy passes by, and nothing does remain. And miles around, they'll say that I am quite myself again. Maybe no comment.
It's sad. But it is sort of love's transformation.
When you get,
but
yes,
yeah,
and then,
it takes you so far out of yourself.
Well, we have something much more cheerful, thanks to Sarah.
Oh, sorry.
Yes,
I
way more cheerful. This is an awesome poem. Maybe we might need it twice. It's an awesome poem by E.E. Cummings.
Somewhere I have never traveled, gladly beyond any experience, your eyes have their silence. In your most frail gesture are things which enclose me, or which I cannot touch because they are too near. Your slightest look easily will unclose me, though I have closed myself as fingers. You open always, petal by petal, myself, as spring opens, touching skillfully, mysteriously, her first rose. Or if your wish be to close me, I and my life will shut very beautifully, suddenly, as when the heart of this flower imagines the snow carefully everywhere descending. Nothing which we are to perceive in this world equals the power of your intense fragility, whose texture compels me with the color of its countries, rendering death and forever with each breathing. I do not know what it is about you that closes and opens. Only something in me understands the voice of your eyes is deeper than all roses. Nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands.
Nice to love someone that way.
More miraculous coming from where you had said he'd been in a prisoner of war?
Prisoner of war during World War I and had just a horrible experience. He wrote his book, The Enormous Room, is about that. And to be able to write these beautiful, beautiful love poems and to feel this kind of love after going through that kind of torturous experience is amazing. To be able to be moved by someone else this much as this poem talks about after going through that.
Which is amazing.
Can these make you feel bad, these love poems, if we haven't loved like this?
It doesn't make me feel bad. It makes me feel peaceful. I mean, he's seeing love in a way that's really understanding the power of someone opening you and closing you, and there isn't any right or wrong. It's just kind of knowing you fully. Whatever the loved one does is done gently and beautifully, and it's quite wonderful.
It's very hopeful.
Yes, inspiring that we can love this way, yes. If we too have been in our own prisoner of war. That was so rich, and we want to talk about it. My boss at the Cambridge Center, Jim Smith, loves quoting these words from Robert Frost. When someone asked him to explain his poem, Robert Frost said, "Do you mean to tell you in less good words?"
Yeah, I think maybe reading it again.
So, right, so we don't want to ask why. What does it mean? Nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands. Do we want to? We don't want to figure out what that means. We want to just feel that, right? Because we can feel somehow. Yes, I can even start. I'm going to stop. Yes. Let's hear it again. Yes.
Somewhere I have never traveled, gladly beyond any experience, your eyes have their silence. In your most frail gesture are things which enclose me, or which I cannot touch because they are too near. Your slightest look easily will unclose me, though I have closed myself as fingers. You open always petal by petal myself, as spring opens, touching skillfully, mysteriously, her first rose. Or if your wish be to close me, I and my life will shut very beautifully, suddenly, as when the heart of this flower imagines the snow carefully everywhere descending. Nothing which we are to perceive in this world equals the power of your intense fragility, whose texture compels me with the color of its countries, rendering death and forever with each breathing. I do not know what it is about you that closes and opens. Only something in me understands the voice of your eyes is deeper than all roses. Nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands.
It's honoring the mystery of the beloved. Very nice.
And I guess that's why I don't think it's important to analyze every little image. It's a mystery and it's beyond understanding, somewhere I have never traveled. We don't need to figure it out. Love does that, it just takes you outside yourself into these amazing images.
And he says he doesn't want to understand it either. He says, I don't know something in you.
I do not know what it is about you.
Elizabeth and I asked some friends at one of Elizabeth's parties who we thought were the happiest couple in Cambridge. And we asked them what the secret of their happiness was. And the man since then, his name is Steve Piper, told me that he looks upon his wife as the sun. And he can feel somewhat like this poem. If there's ever a cloud between him and the sun, he feels like he's lost the sun. And he doesn't want to lose that sun. And we asked her what the secret of a good marriage was. And she said, strange as it sounds, this is hard to be believed. It took me 20 years to discover that his feelings, which seem so far away and less powerful compared to mine, that his feelings, hard as it is to imagine, are as important and as strong as my own. Finally got that. And this is a big beginning, at least the first part, that she was the sun to him. She is the sun to him. Doesn't want the sun to go out. maybe appropriately. Richard?
Well, this is very much like that. It's by Galway Canal. When the man touches through to the exact center of the woman, he lies motionless, in equilibrium, in absolute desire. At the threshold of the world to which the Creator Spirit knows the past whisper and whispers it. And his loving friend becomes his divinity.
Once more, Richard?
When the man touches through to the exact center of the woman, he lies motionless in equilibrium, in absolute desire. At the threshold of the world to which the Creator Spirit knows the past whisper and whispers it, and his loving friend becomes his divinity.
Dare I ask, in such a beautiful poem, what does it mean? The Creator's Spirit knows the past whisper?
He's moving out of ordinary reality into greater love, I think. How do you read that?
Yeah, it's a different world. It's a threshold of the world that you need a past whisper to get into. It's and the only way you could do it is by this perfect love.
And that's where you can feel your own Creator Spirit.
So your Creator
So
Spirit
you
comes
know.
at that moment, and it whispers, I'm sorry, yes, and it whispers. We wish this for all of us, in this room too, yes, including our wonderful technicians, yes, who might not be listening to this because they're focusing on our faces, but we want this love. We want this to spread out like the light from the candle that Elizabeth brought. This is a very short one by Dorothy Parker to balance out these beautiful sentiments. Love is a glorious cycle of song, a circus of extemporanea. And love is a thing that can never go wrong. And I am Marie of Romania.
Well, even when love seems to have gone wrong, it's still a transforming experience. And sometimes what we end up with is not what we thought it was going to be in the beginning. Sometimes it's even better. And this is one of my own poems. It's called A Lesson in Writing Poetry. A poem, you said, need never be larger than this, and placed your palm upon the page. My breath caught, and I knew shell-pink smoothness, blue veins a rhythm beneath, knew the essence of your fingertips, my blue-veined eyelids shell-pink beneath their touch. This was 20 years ago, my passion larger than all sea and sand. Today, my love would fit beneath your small, spread hand. So, it's like you can edit love down from all this grand passion and all this youthful Valentine kind of thinking, just like you edit a poem down to the real essence. And once you do that, then it's true love.
I'm real curious about what got you to that point of seeing love from that other point of view. Kind of the condensed and realizing it could be.
Probably time. I think, like the 1 in 20 poem, you don't believe things that people tell you when you're 21, but 20 years go by and you learn through experience. And, it's not to say that the Valentine and passion stuff isn't great. That's part of it too. We want that too.
Could you read that? I've heard it many times. I'm just beginning to get it now, of how you two understood each other's bodies too. Yes, he really understood your eyes, and you knew each other's bodies.
A poem, you said, need never be larger than this, and placed your palm upon the page. My breath caught, and I knew shell-pink smoothness, blue veins a rhythm beneath, knew the essence of your fingertips, my blue-veined eyelids shell-pink beneath their touch. This was 20 years ago, my passion larger than all sea and sand. Today, my love would fit beneath your small, spread hand.
But love is not all, huh, Richard?
That's what Edna St. Vincent Millay says. Love is not all. It is not meat nor drink, nor slumber, nor a roof against the rain, nor yet a floating spar to men that sink and rise and sink and rise and sink again. Love cannot fill the thickened lung with breath, nor clean the blood, nor set the fractured bone, and yet many a man is making friends with death, even as I speak, for lack of love alone. It well may be that in a difficult hour, pinned down by pain and moaning for release, or nagged by want past resolution's power, I may be driven to sell your love for peace, or trade the memory of this night for food. It well may be. I do not think I would.
Trade the memory of this night for food.
Won't even trade the memory for food. Wow. Oh, hearing these poems again and again still means, oh my, this is the way to love. Don't even let the memory be marred. Not even for food.
Could you read those last two stanzas again? Just from
It well may be that in a difficult hour. It well may be that in a difficult hour, pinned down by pain and moaning for release, or nagged by want past resolution's power, I might be driven to sell your love for peace, or trade the memory of this night for food. It well may be. I do not think I would.
Oh, nor even to sell your love for peace, right?
If you're pinned down by pain and moaning for release,
To sell,
She's-
to get rid of, I want to get rid of this love to have some peace. I won't do that.
Or would you trade a memory for,
Wow.
for a
food.
painless
Or the-
moment?
Or trade, say that again, Elizabeth?
To, you know, if you're in utter pain even, or I guess maybe on the moment of death, we know people sort of leading difficult death lives, you know, to trade that, the memory of love for release, you wouldn't do it.
Or even for
perfect.
peace? It means you stay in? Is she trading the memory? It's not the memory of peace, it's just, read that less. What is the peace that she's...
I might be driven to sell your love for peace, or trade the memory of this night for food.
So what would it mean to sell your love for peace? Sell your love for peace.
Any pain-racked moment, you know, any torn moment.
What will you give me for, I'll get rid of this love?
No.
Give me
If
some
you
peace?
had-
You're in some terrible situation.
Right.
Aside from the love, you're in just a horrible situation, and somebody says, God says, I'll stop the pain. I'll give you peace if you give up this love.
You don't want to do that.
You wouldn't even give it up for that.
No, no. We have a heroine here at the table, but we're not going to tell you this out. We have to write the stations.
For our life story.
Yes, for our life story. No, it's true, though. Sarah has not done, you've not done that. Sarah has not done that. She has not sold her love for peace. Nor, what was the second part? Nor traded a memory. No, not that
Taking
either.
away
Yes.
this
Wow.
night, yeah.
I do not think I would.
Wow. And now we have an original poem by Elizabeth Greywolf.
Well, I had a night like that I wouldn't trade. So this was a poem I wrote, sent last summer, for a man that I met who really transformed my life and gave me a memory or two that I wouldn't trade at all.
And it's
He's-
called Scent.
It's called Scent, and it's trying to describe the scent of him. He's a gardener by profession, and there's something about being outdoors all day that just was kind of indescribable to me. So I was trying to capture that in a poem. It's called Scent. Blindfolded, lost in the city's concrete labyrinth, among a million naked men, I could find you without touch or sight or sound. Your scent alone would be enough, it's true. Gardening all day, your hands have grown, hard, calloused fingertips to palm, ancient before their time. The first night they surprised the silkskin of my breasts and thighs, your fingertips of stone, the gentleness of stone. Slowly your hands learned secrets to other men unknown, all the constant, restless movements of the earth that can stir even a glacier to life. Slow friction, melting, thaw. The winter sun grows stronger. The March moon waxes full. Slow friction melts me, thaws. Drop by drop, spring rains fall. And then heat leaves in its wake the luscious texture of mud the sun will bake into an sultry August night. I feel your hands on my body when I dream. They are wise beyond their years, make my blood sing. But it is your scent I miss tonight, and the cradle of your body that later rocks me to sleep. Other men need contrived lotions, expensive Madison Avenue potions. Compared to you, they make me bored. Somehow your body has absorbed all the hours spent out of doors, new-mown grass, mint, earth, and corn husk, rain cooling hot August fields at dusk. It's by these scents, distilled to summer's essence by your flesh, that I will search for you tonight. Blindfolded by dreams, lost it seems among a million naked men, I pass by each as he dreams. My body moves innate, never falters, never slips, sure even in the dark. Without moon or starlight of my steps, led back to you only by your musk. New-mown grass, earth, and corn husk. So there's something about working with the earth, and that does something special to you, I think.
I'll never smell anyone the same again. Honest, great poems do that. They'll just never be the same.
It's pretty amazing.
Mm.
Never really encountered anyone who had absorbed just everything he'd ever worked with. It was really quite extraordinary. So, all
Wow.
right, we're thinking of summer here in the middle of New England winter.
Good. That's a good thing.
Well, this will balance that out a bit, perhaps. This is just an abbreviated version of a Shakespearean sonnet. Haven't learned this yet, but I'm young. When my love swears she is made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies, that she may think me some untutored youth, unlearned in the world's false subtleties. So I lie with her, and she with me, and by falsehoods thus, we both can flattered be. I think I might try that sometime. And now we're moving to older people. We want to appeal to love for everybody, yes.
But love moves through time.
Say that again?
Love moves through time, so it does.
This is by Ellen Bass. Grandma sleeps with my sick grandpa so she can get him during the night medicine to stop the pain. In the morning, clumsily, I wake them. Her eyes look at me from underneath his withered arm. The medicine is all in her long, unbraided hair. I think that's that's the first time I've ever read it without crying. I think it's just...
That's such a beautiful image at the end.
Grandma sleeps with my sick grandpa so she can get him during the night medicine to stop the pain. In the morning, clumsily, I wake them. Her eyes look at me from underneath his withered arm. The medicine is all in her long, unbraided hair.
Isn't that how love should go? I mean, compare that to the nursing home,
Right.
where they're going to come in and wake you up at 4 to give you the injection.
Now we have a hard one, yes?
Yes. This is by Theodore Spencer. I who love you bring against our cherishing these faults I daren't deny, lest love should prove a lie. But oh, if you love me, forgive me, and none of this is true. A too resilient mind that seeking fact must find on every side reasons why fact should be denied. But oh, if you love me, forgive me, and none of this is true. A body that has wooed more pleasures than it should, and for that pleasure sought what it had thrived without. But oh, if you love me, forgive me, and none of this is true. And until now, a soul that could find no goal beyond body and mind, and so turned blind. But oh, if you love me, forgive me, and none of this is true.
So first you forgive when you love, and then it's not even true anymore, yes? It's not even true anymore that you've been too analytic and sought pleasure where you shouldn't. What was the third thing he did?
He had a soul that believed only in body
Oh,
and
body,
mind.
mind, yes, and if she loves him, assuming it's a she, if the person loves him, first they forgive, yes, forgive, and then it's not true anymore. It's gone. It's gone. Wow, that's the way to
Well,
love.
it's not a fault anymore.
It's not even a fault.
Yeah, it's
Or it's not even true anymore. It's not. It didn't even happen.
Yeah.
It didn't even happen.
It's not that it's not true anymore.
It's not true.
Never
It's
was
never
true.
happened. It never happened.
If you love me,
Wow, you're wonderful.
it's not true.
Wow. Whew. And we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is the power of poems. This is going to be true. These are seeds that are going into us and into our technicians and into the people in the control room and into the greater metropolitan Somerville, Cambridge area.
the roots were setting.
The roots were set, yes. So when we love someone, but at first, he does ask for forgiveness. First, that's important. He does ask for forgiveness. Not saying it wasn't true, but once the forgiveness is given, it's not true anymore. I was really.
Read the line again. But if you love me, it's not true. It's the love that doesn't.
Yes,
He's
if
not
you love- yes.
asking for forgiveness.
He's not asking for
Not e-
forgiveness.
He's
does he ask for- he
the
says forgive
being
me.
loved.
No,
the
he's
being
saying,
loved.
if you love
is-
me, you'll forgive me.
Does it say you'll forgive me or please forgive me?
If you love me, forgive me.
Yes.
None of this is true.
Forgive me, none of this is true. Wow. So he's convinced, Sarah's right, he's convinced that if you love me, you're going to forgive me. Yes. Yes, but he says you're going to forgive me. Wow.
It's a big eraser. That's how I say that. Love is the
Yes,
big
love is an
eraser.
eraser, yes. Yes.
Yes.
We've always been good. We've been good. I didn't do anything bad my whole life because you love me, you've forgiven me, and I'm loved. I was wonderful.
Be careful. Doesn't mean you can do whatever you want to do.
And maybe in that spirit, yes, in that spirit, we have Dorothy Parker at 77.
Dorothy Parker. I'd like to, a couple of things, just technically, explain a couple words. Dorothy Parker was writing about 60 years ago, and so some of the language is, there are a few words that we don't use ordinarily. Simoom is a strong, hot, sandy wind from the Sahara Arabian deserts, and she uses a word, Perian, which is from, it was a spring sacred in Macedonia to the Muses. So it means learning, just in the old classical way of learning. But I wanted to dedicate this reading to my mom, who is 80 this year, and about as great a role model as a woman could ever find. She just, when my dad died, they'd been married almost 50 years, and she was desolate. And she really wanted to die. She felt she'd had a wonderful life, and she'd had children, and she'd had, he was gone, and she was ready to go. And then Cupid came around, and she met a man from my father's book club, and they're very much in love and have been for years. And she turned 80, and she's going strong. So this is The Little Old Lady in Lavender Silk by Dorothy Parker. I was 77 come August, and I shall shortly be losing my bloom. I've experienced zephyr and raw gust, and symbolical flood and simoom. When you come to this time of abatement, to this passing from summer to fall, it's a manners to issue a statement as to what you got out of it all. So I'll say the reflection unnerves me, and pronouncements I dodge as I can, that I think, if my memory serves me, there was nothing more fun than a man. In my youth, when the crescent was too wan to embarrass with beams from above, by the aid of some local Don Juan, I fell into the habit of love. And I learned how to kiss and be merry, and education left better unsung. My neglect of the waters Perarian was a scandal when Grandma was young. Though the shabby unbalanced the splendid, and the bitter outmeasured the sweet, I should certainly do as I then did, were I given the chance to repeat. For contrition is hollow and wrathful, and regret is no part of my plan. And I think, if my memory is faithful, there was nothing more fun than a man.
Wow. Oh, wow. Just like your mom, yes.
Just like my mom.
Oh,
She was
wow.
going strong.
So that was that's to
80.
that's to the 77-year-olds and above in our audience. And for us, yes, so there's nothing more fun
Yeah,
than a
love
man.
doesn't
yeah.
die. It just
Wow.
keeps rolling
And
on.
fun.
And fun.
Even though the
Fun.
bitter outweighed the bitter outweighed, she's telling you the truth.
Yep.
The bitter
She had
outweighed
some-
the
She had a
sweet.
few bad moments
Yes.
there, Dorothy did.
Many, yes. The shabby outweighed the splendid.
Yep.
But still,
But still,
Yes.
she would repeat it all. Yeah.
and no contrition is hollow, right? We're not going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
I
no,
did
no, no,
this,"
no.
right?
We don't want to
No.
die with regrets.
No,
We don't want to
yes,
die
we
with
might have made a
regrets.
few mistakes, but when we're loved, after we're forgiven, they're not mistakes.
Right.
Didn't happen.
The big eraser in the
She
sky.
didn't quite have that right. She has it. But she looks at it a little differently, but she still. Well, we have about 12 more minutes, just about proper time. I tried to memorize this, and Sarah says, you've got to get all the words right, so I'm going to have to have it. This is a hard poem chosen by Sarah, by Walt Whitman. Out of the rolling ocean, the crowd, came a drop gently to me, whispering, I love you. Before long, I die. I have traveled a long way merely to look on you, to touch you. For I could not die till I looked on you. For I feared I might afterward lose you. Now we have met, we have looked, we're safe. Return in peace to the ocean, my love. I too am part of that ocean, my love. We are not so much separated. Behold the great rounder, the cohesion of all, how perfect. But as for me, for you, the irresistible sea is to separate us. As for an hour, carrying us diverse, yet cannot carry us diverse forever. Be not impatient. A little space. Know you, I salute the air, the ocean, and the land every day at sundown for your dear sake, my love.
At some point it gets cosmic.
We had a discussion, and Richard and I believe this is about a drop of water. Women did not.
No.
No, I think Walt Whitman could love. I think it's much. It's a drop. No, a drop came gently. He would love the water, and love the land, but love just a drop of water came to him, and he could love it. I like it better than if it represents a person. He loved this water.
It
It could be both, yes, but it's also the water. Yes, the water whispered, "I love you," and he's going to die, but I had to see you before I died, so I was afraid I would lose you. And now that they've met, the water can go back to the ocean. But they're only separate for a while because we're all going to go back to the ocean. And he salutes. He can feel this drop of water when he salutes the land and the air and the ocean. And every day at sundown. For your dear sake, this drop of water also. Also, yes.
So beautiful.
And now we have one. This is Sarah's love poem again, written by Sarah Jensen.
Knowing you are is like discovering in sun-shocked river shade shadow huckleberries, gorging until the purple juice runs down my chin.
This is live on Somerville Cable. We might go back to that if we have time. It's very nice.
Next.
Okay, well, this is very similar again. This is very thematic, in case you missed it. We've talked about huckleberries, we're now talking about plums.
Yes.
This is William Carlos Williams. This is just to say, I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me. They were delicious. So sweet and so cold.
Oh, they loved each other. You could see just in the note, they loved each other. Oh, boy.
That is wonderful. It's come comfortable marital love. And you can,
And food and love. Yes, food and love.
mhm.
I'd love to hear both of those one more time. Can we'll have time, and then Elizabeth has our last poem, which is, yes, just this is food and love. Yes, huckleberries and plums.
Knowing you are is like discovering in sun-shocked river-shade shadow huckleberries, gorging until the purple juice runs down my chin.
Banned in Somerville, Sarah Jensen.
This is just to say, I have eaten the plums that were in the icebox and which you were probably saving for breakfast. Forgive me. They were delicious. So sweet and so cold.
Oh, wow. Very sweet.
They go together beautifully.
Yes, they're very nice, yes. we've had some of the great poets of the modern era. We've had Shakespeare and Galway Kinnell and A.E. Housman, and we're going to have Yeats and Sarah Jensen and Elizabeth Graywolf. Good company. They fit right in. Elizabeth this is our last poem, and then we might have just a few minutes to sum up. Richard's going to sum up all of these poems in one brilliant synthesis.
This is William Butler Yeats, who, I don't know if it gets any better than Yeats, but this is a poem he wrote and it's titled When You Are Old. So we're ending with kind of love through the cycle. When you are old and gray and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face among a crowd of stars. So it's memory when you were, when all's said and done, sort of like in your pocketbook is memory of love, and that's something that endures forever, I think.
Say.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, he's not dancing a jig on the way out.
No, but it's in the stars, though. It's still, love is hidden. It's, even if they didn't make it together, he didn't, the love, it's still in it's somehow made it to the stars, if she looks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one last time, Elizabeth, one more time, and then.
When you were old and gray and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars.
We have about one more minute. Maybe we can just have a quick.
Okay.
Anybody have anything to say for all of us? All of us, including our technicians and people watching for love?
Wish it.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
Let us know it when it happens.
Right.
And the courage to choose it when it's
Yeah.
there.
Courage to
Go
choose
for
it
it
when
and
it's
don't let
there.
it pass you by. Don't let the rapture pass you by.
Oh, wow. Good night. Good night. Thank you for joining us. Much love to all of us. Much love.